Being detained
Yeah, I'm detaining you.
under
Terrorism Act.
you can search me if that's what you're going to do.
No, all I'm going to do at the moment, sir, is I'm going to arrest you on suspicion of
Welcome to my channel, where we highlight misconduct, examine police and legal matters, defend rights, and demand accountability. This episode comes to us from Absolute Audits. Be sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him proper credit for his work. Absolute Audit is outside Somerset Police HQ with a camera when officers arrive, already treating the situation as something that needs to be handled. The conversation does not begin with clarity or straightforward questions. Instead, it jumps straight into assertions of authority and assumptions about why he should not be there. Each time a justification is offered, Absolute Audits responds with the obvious follow-up. What specific rule actually prevents him from being there? The exchange quickly becomes a back and forth between claims and rebuttals. And the moment officers decide to take control of the situation, the encounter takes a turn that neither side can easily undo.
Who are you, please?
Oh, I'm just me.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Is
that the BT tower?
I need to know why you're here.
Oh, I'm just reading.
How did you get in?
Oh, I just walked up the footpath.
Okay.
The gates are open.
I don't think they are.
Oh, I think they are.
shouldn't be.
I've recorded it.
Okay. Have you got any identification on you, please?
I might do. Let me see. I've got an ID.
Yeah, can I have a look at that, please?
Yeah, of course. Is this the right one? Yeah, that one.
Please, please.
But if you just hang fire here a second.
Am I being
Sarge.
detained?
You're not at the moment, no.
No, so I'm going to carry on if that's okay. You're free to follow me, but it's an ID, it's not my ID.
Can you tell me who you are, please?
Do I have to?
Well, yeah, you're on police property.
Oh, it's okay.
The exchange immediately highlights a contradiction in their own approach. The officer confirms that Absolute Audits is not being detained, yet the moment he exercises that freedom and attempts to leave, they follow behind him, still pressing for his identity, which undermines the entire basis of the interaction. If there is no detention and no clearly stated offense, there is no legitimate reason to keep someone engaged in conversation. The claim that simply standing on police property automatically obliges him to identify himself does not hold up either, as that is not a standalone power officers can invoke whenever they choose. What it begins to resemble instead is officers trying to maintain control over a situation after already acknowledging they lack the authority to stop him in the first place.
Thank you.
I need to know who you are because
You don't
might
need to.
pose a threat to us.
Why are you standing next to me with no body armour on then?
Can I just ask you to stand still for me?
Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
Yeah, I'm detaining you.
Under,
Terrorism Act.
43, fantastic.
Yeah, is that all right?
43?
Because I don't know who you are. You're not telling me who you are.
I don't have to.
You're dressed up very suspiciously.
It's cold.
And you are on police premises.
Yeah, but the gate's open.
I don't believe you. And even if the gate is open, you shouldn't be gaining access and you shouldn't be here.
But it's publicly accessible, I thought.
No, it's not.
Well, the gate's open.
And I'm being quite reasonable. I'm asking you for your name. I'm asking you for some ID.
Yeah, but I don't
and
have
you're
to give it to you.
refusing to do that.
Yeah, but I don't have to give it to you.
So you're
I
now
don't
going
think-
to remain with me until some other police officers come and assist me.
Well, I've offered to leave.
I'm just saying it's private property. Okay, you're not entitled to film me, and I do not want my identity to be put online. Is that understood?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
It's not on you, look. It's pointing at the
No,
cars.
I know, but just make sure you're
Yeah.
aware you're on private property.
But can you just tell me who you are, though?
If officers genuinely believed someone posed an immediate danger, walking directly up to them and staying within arm's reach would not be the way that risk would be handled. The explanation then shifts into a detention under terrorism legislation, justified by how he is dressed and the fact that he is standing on police grounds. But suspicion under that power is not meant to arise from vague impressions. It requires something concrete that connects a person's behavior to potential terrorist activity, and clothing choices combined with simply being near a building do not meet that threshold on their own. The claim that the area is not publicly accessible also sits awkwardly with the reality that the gate was open and people could walk straight in.
But you're giving me
Because
a,
I'm on private property.
but you're giving me a request.
I'm not requesting, I'm just saying I do not want my identity
Yeah.
to be put online.
But if you tell me you're a police officer, I'll say, yeah, okay.
Can you confirm that you're not filming anybody here on?
No, it's pointing down. Yeah, look, see, it's pointing at the floor. I'm not filming anyone.
That also goes for any vehicle registration numbers.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't film those. Are you a police officer?
I am a police officer.
Okay, can I take your shoulder number?
At the moment, I'm not working today. I've only put this on because it's wet.
Yeah, but you have identified it, so I just would...
My first name, okay, one private property. I'm trying to be polite.
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying, if I wanted to contact you, what would I search?
A member of the public,
Yeah.
okay, was planning a mass shooting,
Right.
a mass murder on this site.
Oh, right.
Okay, that person's since been sent to prison
When was that?
recently.
No, I've not heard about it. Was it in the news?
I'm not being argumentative, but if you're a journalist,
Yeah.
okay, you should be up on this sort of stuff. Okay, it resulted in that person being shot because they shot themselves and police officers.
Yeah,
Okay, they were planning to come on the site with guns.
yeah.
Okay, you're on site now with a balaclava on, hiding your
Yeah.
identity. Can you not understand why we're a little bit edgy?
Another officer then attempts to shift the argument toward privacy, claiming that his identity and even his vehicle registration should not appear online because the area is private property. But that reasoning does not carry much weight when the things being filmed are already visible to anyone standing there, as police vehicles and their plates are seen by the public every day. The same officer also refuses to properly identify himself, withholding his shoulder number while still involving himself in the encounter, which is a strange position because if someone truly is not on duty, the obvious solution would be not to step into the situation at all. Instead, the explanation drifts toward a recent security scare and tries to connect that to absolute audits, simply because he is wearing a balaclava, stretching suspicion well beyond anything actually happening in front of them.
So if I came in your back garden then, after somebody threatened to shoot
Yeah,
you...
yeah, but this isn't your back garden. This is it's a public
No,
building.
it's not. It's private property.
It is, it's a public
It's
building,
private
though.
property.
There's a reception, the gate's
It's
open.
private property. Okay, at the end of the day, this is private property.
It is.
So, if you left your back gate open, your back garden, and I walked in, okay.
It'd be publicly accessible. It would be trespass.
it'd be trespass.
Once I asked you to leave and you didn't.
Private.
No,
private
nobody's asked me to leave yet.
No, because we want to make sure that you're not a threat.
Yeah,
Okay, we
sure.
want to make sure that you are not planning an attack.
Okay.
Because by putting those vehicles online and by putting our faces online,
Hmm.
you could potentially jeopardise that
Yeah.
and stop people from being prosecuted.
Okay, so I would come back to that and say, one, I wasn't doing that. I was doing my report and just filming around. And my other point, which is a bit more argumentative, is you've walked up to the camera. So had I not been cooperative, I might have started, some people might have stuck it in your face and gone, no, I'm filming you.
Okay.
But I've gone, okay, fair enough.
You shouldn't be filming on private property anyway.
But I
So-
can, that's what I do.
So can I
Sometimes
come in-
you have to
so
go
can
on.
I come in your house and film you?
No, but if the gate is open, you can come in and then
I
if
can
I
come in
ask
your garden
if
and-
I ask,
Drawing a parallel between this situation and someone wandering into a private garden does not really hold up when you look at the actual circumstances. A garden is clearly part of a person's private residence, whereas this particular area was open and easily accessible, which makes the two scenarios fundamentally different from one another. Even if we assume for a moment that someone did step onto land where they were not supposed to be, the reality is that trespass is generally treated as a civil matter rather than something that immediately triggers the use of police enforcement powers. The argument that recording officers could somehow interfere with ongoing or future investigations also loses its weight when you consider that the filming only started after the officers themselves decided to approach him in the first place. What adds to the strangeness of the entire encounter is that absolute audits had already made it clear he would be willing to leave if they simply asked him to do so. Yet rather than taking that simple and straightforward option, the officers chose to keep him there under detention, while simultaneously continuing to express frustration about his presence at the location.
Tried being nice.
Yeah, I'm being nice.
No, you're just coming back with arguments. The chap then that was talking about coming on site and murdering police officers,
Yeah.
shooting them with homemade machine guns.
Yeah, but I've not done that.
No, but if he'd come a
and
week
he's in
earlier-
prison. Yeah, but you can't violate people's rights because of what might happen. For example, you're violating my rights at the moment,
By how?
where you've stopped
talking to you?
stopped my free movement.
On private property.
Yeah, I said I'm going to go to reception, and you guys have said no, you're staying here.
There isn't a reception here.
There is a reception here.
There isn't.
There is. It says on the sign.
That's the training school reception for police officers. That's not for public.
No, when I came in the gate, there's a reception.
That's not here though.
Well, I don't know where it is. I can't find it.
Again, it's not for members of the public, it's for people visiting the site who have a legitimate reason for being here.
Well, I
who have
do.
signed in, who are going to sign in, who
Yeah.
have been invited onto the
I
site.
would have signed in, but I
And
can't
none
find
of
it.
the above apply to yourself.
Yeah, but I can't find reception.
You haven't been invited onto site. You haven't requested access to the site prior to entering it.
Yeah, but I've used a public road, footpath to gain access.
To go through a private entrance.
Yeah, but the gate's open, so it's
a private
open.
entrance and there's clear signs saying private property.
Wow.
And that's why the signs are there, to stop people like yourself coming onto the site claiming it was free access.
Well, it is.
Our barriers are closed.
No, the gate's open.
To go through a closed barrier,
but
which
it's
is
open.
designed as a deterrent to stop you coming in.
Like
because
what
it is
this?
private property.
That goes like that.
Yes, that is a closed barrier.
Yeah, but it's for...
The explanation continues to rely on the notion that being on police property alone somehow justifies the detention, but that reasoning does not automatically create legal powers that override a person's right to move freely. Acting on a vague suspicion that something might occur is not the same as pointing to actual behavior that reasonably warrants holding someone in place. The argument that the vehicle barrier proves the area is restricted does not really hold up either. A barrier designed to control cars does not suddenly transform the space into somewhere pedestrians are forbidden to be, especially when people can clearly walk straight in without any obstruction.
Trespass that you can... If something is publicly accessible, which you're saying this
It is
isn't...
not publicly accessible. This area is not public.
But under the definition of the law, this is because the gate's open.
No, the gate isn't open because there's a physical barrier stopping you coming through. You chose to ignore that barrier.
It's not stopping me.
Do you know who you are yet, sir?
No, I would argue that under Article 8 of the Human Rights Act, I don't have to give you any details.
Okay, in that case...
Is that okay?
It's perfectly fine. You can have those rights.
You can search me if that's what you're going to do.
No. All I'm going to do at the moment, sir, is I'm going to arrest you on suspicion of aggravated trespass, okay?
Why is it
Section
aggravated?
69 of the Criminal Justice Act and the Public Order Act, okay? The reason for that is you're obstructing lawful activity and you're intimidating and causing distress.
Would you like me to tell you one more thing before you make that decision?
No, I'm going to make that decision.
I'm an auditor on YouTube.
No, that's okay. What I'm going to do...
Hang on, let me just turn it
You
off.
don't have to
that's
say
fine, you
anything.
Okay guys, so in short, I was arrested and was in the cell for about 13 hours. I was then interviewed probably at 1 or 2 in the morning and was further arrested for possession of a Class A drug, salt, and failing to give my name and address to a constable, which is Section 50 of the Police Reform Act. So yeah, I gave a no comment interview and I was eventually released at 3 in the morning with no phone, no wallet, nothing. They seized.
The update from Absolute Audit shows that this encounter did not simply end with a tense exchange on the pavement. It has now moved into the legal system, with confirmation that solicitors have been instructed to begin a civil claim. This means the entire interaction is now being looked at in a setting where every decision, justification, and action taken by the officers will have to withstand proper legal examination rather than just being defended in the heat of the moment. These cases often take considerable time to progress through the system, as the force must be formally served and given an opportunity to respond. But the important point is that the matter has not simply been forgotten or swept aside. That is the only update Absolute Audits has provided so far, with no further details released on how the claim has developed since. What really stands out in the closing moments is how quickly the situation escalates once Absolute Audits refuses to provide his personal details. Declining to give that information is not unusual unless a specific legal power requires it, something closely connected to protections under the Human Rights Act. Yet that refusal suddenly becomes the foundation for a series of serious allegations, and at different points he is detained under terrorism powers, then arrested for aggravated trespass, public order offenses, and even possession of a Class A drug. The aggravated trespass claim struggles to fit the situation being shown, as that offense requires someone to intentionally obstruct lawful activity, yet the only interaction taking place is between Absolute Audits and the officers themselves. The public order allegation faces a similar problem, since the legal threshold involves behavior that is threatening, abusive, or genuinely likely to cause distress. By the end of the encounter, Absolute Audits is taken away, his equipment seized, and a long list of allegations has been mentioned along the way. What began as someone simply standing outside a police headquarters with a camera ends with detention, multiple arrest reasons being cited, and property taken from him. That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps me continue with my independent coverage. And do not forget to check out Absolute Audit's channel linked in the description to show your support. Thanks for watching. This was my channel, and I will see you in the next one.